So hi, today's video, we move into some of the same positions we've done over and over and over in some different ways. So anytime you're practicing, allow your body to just explore and see how to lift a knee up off the floor or how to turn your torso without, say, using your hands. Play with that idea. Take your time in and out, and if it takes you a little extra second to get to something, right, let yourself take that little extra second, right? Enjoy your practice and see what happens today.
We're going to begin today in child's pose here. So make yourself as comfortable as you can. You can prop your forehead up on a block or your folded hands or fists, sitting the hips back or forward, having the knees more open or closed. And just allow the awareness to move inward here. Begin to focus on your breath. And as you begin to expand into your breath, you're going to find that it's hard to breathe into the belly if you're laying on your thighs. So see if you can expand more into your side ribs or maybe even into the back side of your lower ribs there. See if you can get a little expansion and contraction there. Finding a nice, full, easy breath. Staying connected to that breath and gently bring yourself up into an all fours position. Finding hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's begin moving through cat-cow here. So on the inhale, take the belly toward the mat. With the exhale, rounding the spine up toward the ceiling. And just flowing in and out of those two poses, connected to your breath. And gently moving deeper through the spine when you're ready. And gently coming back to a neutral spine. From here, extend the right leg straight back. We want the heel in line with the hip, so try not to lift it too high. Press through the heel, and then extend through the left arm. Reaching in opposite directions, nice long line from fingertips through that back heel. And every muscle between is helping hold you up here. We're going to release that side, and then do the exact same thing on the second side. So press through the heel, activate the leg, and when you're ready, right arm reaching forward. Try and stay steady, connected to your breath. And then release it back down again. So taking the first side again, extend right leg and left arm. This time here, we're going to take the arm over to the left and bring the leg around to the right. Stretch through your fingertips, press through your heel here, hold and breathe. Release your hand back to the mat and take the toes over to the side. Come on up on that left knee, cushion the knee if you need. We're going to lift the left arm and take it up and over, reaching down the outside of the leg here. Open up the left side ribs, take a nice big breath. With your next inhale, coming back up to center, release the hands back to the mat. Lift the toes and hang that leg out there. Can be barely up off the floor. Make it work. And then bring the leg back, releasing the knee back to the mat. So working the second side here, left leg back and right arm forward. Taking it out to the sides. Releasing your hand and taking the toes to the side there. Up on the right knee, reaching the right arm up and taking it over. Big full breath, really expand into the right side ribs here. Inhaling as we come back up. Release the hands, lift the leg and hold it out. Just a couple breaths. Bring the leg back and down to the knee again. One more time here. Go ahead and extend the right leg back. This time we're going to bend the knee. We want to shift the body weight over to the left just enough to this time lift the right hand up off the floor. Maybe that's where the struggle is, just to find the balance. If you can find your balance, see if you can find your foot. Pressing the foot into the hand, taking the toes higher, maybe squaring the hips up even a little bit. So find where the struggle is. And then gently release it, make your way back to that all fours position. Let's go the second side. Left leg. Bend at the knee when you're ready. Lean to the left, the right, just enough. Taking the left hand back, maybe finding the foot, maybe not quite. Press the foot into the hand, lift the toes, square the hips if that's you. And then gently release, coming back into your all fours again. From here, gently set the hips back toward the heels and give yourself a nice stretch in child's pose again. And this one probably feels even a little bit better than the first one. We'll make our way forward here into kneeling plank. So bringing the hips forward of the knees instead of stacked over them like all fours. Make sure the belly's pulled in here, shoulders are neutral on the back, and bend into your elbows coming down to the belly. Ideally, everything hits the floor at the same time. So the hands are next to the side ribs. We're gonna roll into the shoulders. You can pull with your hands to lengthen your spine and give yourself a little bit of extra lift. Maybe even press into the hands a little bit. Take it slow and gentle to start, and then release. Lifting your belly up off the floor. Keep it up off the floor as you press your chest away, up and back into your child's pose again. So stretching the arms out long. Come down to the forearms and knees, or up to the forearms and knees, and then lift your knees away from the floor. So in this little modified dolphin, we're gonna press firmly into the hands, and then from there, make your way up into your down dog. So instead of lifting the upper body first, we just changed and lifted the lower body first, right? So allow yourself to move and stretch in your down dog as always. We'll step the feet forward and come into a fold. Placing the feet up underneath the hip bones. And then taking them just a step wider. Interlacing the fingers behind the lower back. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other and stretch the hands away from the shoulders. Maybe they lift up off of your lower back, maybe they don't very much. Find lots of length through your spine and shoulders here, and then release back to the floor. Take the feet an extra step wider. Make sure you're all on or all off of your mat here. Plant the four corners of the feet, your toes point forward, and then come up onto your fingertips. Ideally, the legs are straight with the shoulders right over the wrists, right? If you need a block or to bend the knees, feel free to do that. So the left hand is going to come right up underneath the face, and the right hand is going to come to the hip, and we're going to begin to twist, belly rotating toward the right, side ribs toward the ceiling, and the shoulder back. Actively press into the left fingertips and extend out through the crown of your head. Release that side. Take your right hand in the middle and your left hand to the hip and rotate around to the left. Keep the lower body really stable. Feet, knees, and hips level and even. And release the twist. Let's bring the feet back together. We'll slide the hands up to the thighs. They can stay there or move to the hips, entirely up to you. We're going to come halfway up, so bring the upper body parallel to the floor. Lean on the legs as much or as little as you need, and then come all the way up, inhaling. Taking the hands to the lower back for support. Keep the tailbone tucked under, pelvis over the ankles, shoulder blades pulling together on the back, lifting the chest up toward the ceiling. Opening up into this nice little back bend, and you can take it deeper if that's you. Listen to your body. Make sure the back feels nice and long here. Gently inhaling to lift yourself back to neutral. Release the hands. Resting the hands back on the thighs, bring yourself over into that half fold again and hold. Lean on the legs as much as you need to lean here. Gently take it all the way over into your fold. And then from there, we'll make our way back into our down dog again. Let's go ahead and lift the left leg. And then step that foot through to the hands and come to a lunge. You can absolutely have a knee down variation here. And we're going to take the left leg straight. So finding a nice hamstring stretch, work to keep the hips nice and square and the spine long. Try not to round through your back. Bending into the knee, hop forward until you can lift the right leg away from the floor. And we want to lift it as high as we can lift it here. In your brain, point the toes straight up toward the ceiling. Once you're set here, see if maybe one hand can grab onto your left ankle or calf if that's where you're reaching. And then if you're really feeling adventurous, maybe the other hand can grip the ankle as well. We'll release the hands back to the mat, step way back into lunge again. And go ahead and drop the knee down to the floor. We're going to climb up on the thigh. Try to keep your hips low. Sometimes they like to lift here. Bringing the upper body as vertical as it will go. If the hands need to come back to the mat, let them. We're just going to lift the right leg away from the floor. Sometimes the brain thinks you need the arms to do that, but see if you can make it not. When you're ready, extend the arms up toward the ceiling for this Warrior One variation. extending through the back heel, and then dropping it to the floor and transitioning into Warrior Two. So the left toes and knee are still pointing toward the top of your mat. The right toes are cut in a little bit, shoulders over hips. Make the adjustments. Sometimes the foot lands perfectly and sometimes it needs a little help. And then rest your left forearm on your thigh and bring the right arm up and over the ear. Stretch into this nice long line here, fingertips all the way through the back heel. Release that, come over to lunge, and step back into your down dog. Shifting forward, take it to plank, knees to the mat if you need, down to the belly. Hands next to the side ribs as we roll, pull, and press into a little cobra. And then release that, belly at the same time as the chest, up and back, down dog. Lifting the right leg. Stepping that foot through to the hands. Toes to fingers, remember. You can take the left knee to the floor if you need. And when you're ready, take the right leg straight. Nice big fold over the leg. If that's you, remember you can prop up if you need. Bending into the knee, hop the back toes in until you're ready to lift them away from the floor. Take your time, lift that leg as high as it's going to lift, and then play with your balance. Maybe one hand gripping the ankle, maybe two. Take your time, breathe. Releasing the hands, and then stepping way back into our lunge again. Dropping the left knee to the mat. Climb on up on the thigh here. Upper body is as vertical as it can get. So the hands are where you need them to be, and maybe lift the left knee up off the floor. Let's drop the back heel, open to Warrior Two. Check your feet. Make sure the knee is aligned. Bend the elbow, rest the forearm on the thigh, and take the left arm up and over the ear. Leaning on the leg only if you need to lean. Releasing that over to lunge. Stepping back, down dog. We'll slide forward into plank one more time, taking it down, rolling into your cobra, and then gently releasing, up and back, down dog. Drop it down to the knees and go ahead and sit back in child's pose. Let's make our way back to our all fours position. And then step the feet forward, hip bone distance apart, and we're going to come into a squat. So coming up on your toes, let your hips come low. And if your fingertips need to stay on the floor to hold you in balance, that's fine. If they can come up to the thighs, come up and balance on the toes here, keeping the upper body vertical. The hands can stay on the thighs, maybe come to center. If you like, they can extend up toward the ceiling. Stay on the toes. With the inhale, press into the toes, lift all the way up to standing. And then release it. Heels to the mat, releasing the arms. Let's take standing balance here. So we're going to take all the weight over into the right foot, lift the left leg, open at the knee, and bring the foot in maybe to the inside of the right leg, anywhere but on the knee joint. Otherwise, maybe bring the ankle in front of and just above that right knee. So the foot is kind of hanging off the leg. We're going to hug the legs together like crazy. That's why we avoid being on the joint itself. The palms can come together. The arms can extend up toward the ceiling if that's you. So if you're in tree, you're going to stay upright. If you've got the foot in front of the knee, you can bend into the right knee and come into this chair type position. You can stay more upright, or you can bring the left elbow to the knee, right elbow to the ankle. Listen to your body. Find where the challenge is. Coming back up again. Back to center, and then release that side. So the same thing on the second side, you have all of those options. Taking the weight over to the left, lift the right, open at the knee, and bring the foot to wherever it's supposed to be on this side. See what happens. Give it a go if you need to take it a step back, or if you can take it a step deeper, make your way there. Hugging the legs toward each other. When you're ready, hands come center, or maybe extend. If you're in tree, you stay upright. Otherwise, see about bending into the left knee. And maybe hinging forward. Again, listen to your body. Another nice big breath. And then gently make your way back to center. And release it all. So let's inhale the arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, take yourself over into a fold, nice and easy here. Planting the hands and stepping back to our down dog. Make your way back into one last child's pose. In your child's pose here, take your hands back by your heels. Let your shoulders roll forward and rest for a moment. Keeping your hands back by your heels, come to sit up. From there, bringing the legs around front. We'll extend them out long. Take inner thigh rotation here. Feet hip bone distance apart, flex toward the ceiling. Sitting tall, reach the arms up. And then hinge forward from the hip, coming into your fold. Keep the spine tall, the shoulders down and back. And here, move your hands to the outsides of your thighs or calves, depending on where you reach. We want to extend out through the big toe knuckle and pull the pinky toe side of your foot back to your face. Press your hands into your calves back into the hands. Lift the kneecaps toward the hip bones. Ground your sit bones and extend out through the crown of your head. Keep all of those muscles working and see if you can actually come a tiny bit deeper into your stretch. And then do that again. Start down at the bottom, big toe knuckle forward, pinky toe side back, pressing into the calves, back into the hands, lifting the kneecaps, grounding the sit bones, extending out through the crown of the head, and maybe moving in a little bit deeper. Do that one more time. Keep all of those muscles working and see where your fold will go. Nice big breaths here. With an inhale, we're going to release that, come back all the way up to the top and release the arms. Coming to easy seated pose, aligning the heels to the groin, sitting tall. You can also come to a reclined position, taking this one final twist here. Bringing the right hand over to the left knee, left hand behind the back. If you're reclined, just simply drop the knees to one side or the other. Releasing that side, coming back through the center and taking the second side. So again, whether you're seated or reclined, keep length through your spine, taking nice full breaths. Releasing that to come back to center. Find that nice tall spine, resting the hands wherever they need to go. Taking your body into a comfortable position, whether that's the seated meditation or reclined. And begin to solely focus on your breath here. Keeping the mind present and quiet. Giving yourself a few minutes to simply rest. Remember, you can stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.